خليه يبدأ التسجيل. السلام عليكم طلبتنا الأعزاء. Morning classes. In this lesson, we are going to be talking about the characteristics of the body paragraph and the concluding paragraph. As we already know, the characteristics of an introductory paragraph, it has two major points, the general statement, and then we're narrowing it down until we get the thesis statement. So what should we write in a body paragraph or in body paragraphs, and what should we write in the concluding paragraph? What are, in other words, what are the characteristics of writing a body paragraph, a good body paragraph, and what are the characteristics of a concluding paragraph? What should we include in the body paragraph and the concluding paragraph? Because we know already what to include in an introductory paragraph, what to write in an introductory paragraph, how to start our introductory paragraph, how to start the essay, which starts with the introductory paragraph. We already knew that. We studied that in detail. How to write the general statement, narrowing it down until we get to write the thesis statement, the controlling idea of the whole essay. That should be very specific, that should express the students are still joining, that should express the main idea of the whole essay. And this thesis, we already knew that sometimes include sub-ideas, okay? And we build on those sub-ideas in the body paragraph. The body paragraph start with topic sentence. Any body paragraph should start with a topic sentence. This topic sentence should be related to the thesis sentence in the introductory. When we write a good topic sentence, we have to be also writing supporting sentences for this topic sentence. Yani in the body paragraph, we try to find evidence. But first of all, we have to start this body paragraph as in the examples, okay, at the very start of this chapter. And also we have a good example on page 88. Okay, if we have time, inshallah, we are going to have a look on this model essay. Okay, so I explained the body paragraph and how to write the body paragraph. What should we include in the body paragraph? What kind of evidence? How to extend our ideas in the body paragraph? We write, for example, a topic sentence, and then we explain it in the next sentence, and then we give an example about this explanation or this idea, or give details, sometimes telling a very short event about, to explain it, to give details on the topic sentence. The body paragraph as a whole, that might contain 5 sentences, 6 sentences, 12 sentences. It depends on your topic. You extend ideas by explanation, clarification, clarifying, for example, explaining, sentence after another sentence, but those sentences should be connected. There should be a unity for this paragraph, for this body paragraph. Don't try to write whatever sentence comes into your mind, whatever sparks into your mind. يعني مو أي شيء يخطر في بالك تكتبه بالبودي باراجراف، لأنه قد تكتب جملة لا تتعلق بالموضوع الذي أنت تكتب عنه. فيجب أن يكون البودي باراجراف مالتك متعلق ومرتبط ويقوي من الفكرة الرئيسية للأسي، للمقالة. يعني اكو examples، يعني سوينا في يعني write examples with the other groups. Okay, فإن شاء الله when I upload it you will understand this point better. Now I try to be يعني more concise about how to write a concluding paragraph. Okay, and we are going to read these samples on page 87 and read also, if we have time, the model essay on page 88 to know exactly what is a body paragraph and what is a concluding paragraph quickly. Okay, so please turn your the textbook on page, open your textbook, or if you have an for example a PDF, try to go to page 87, and I'm going to share this page with you. طلاب اكو واحد عنده سؤال لحد الان عن البودي باراجراف؟ اوكي، نعم.
دكتور أنا قرأت معلومة تقول إنه عدد البودي باراجراف الفقرات اللي لازم نكتبها لازم توافق ويا عدد الثيسيس ستيتمنت، هذا الحكي صحيح دكتور؟
يعني هذا شرحناه يعني من بدينا السنة لحد الآن.
سوري دكتور، بس يعني لازم أنا ألتزم، يعني إذا كنت 3 جمل بالثيسيس ستيتمنت هم لازم يعني ألتزم 3 فقرات؟
بس فد لحظة. احنا هذا الكلام يا انا ما اعرف يا من جاي يتكلم لين جاي بس فد لحظة. شنو اسمك؟ لين جاي فاتح PDF. شنو اسمك؟
نبأ سجاد دكتور.
زين ليش صوتك مو واضح؟
ما أعرف دكتور.
فد لحظة، خل ارجع سوي شيرنج وانا ان شاء الله اجاوبك على هذا السؤال. لكن هذا السؤال شرحناه من بداية السنة الى الان. اوكي، يعني احنا قلنا بالثيس ستيتمنت. شنو قلنا بالثيس ستيتمنت؟ انت شرحي لي الان.
دكتور في ستيتمنت إنه أذكر مختصر للأشياء اللي أنا راح نتكلم عنها، يعني مثل أطرح أسئلة عن الموضوع وبعدين أبدي أشرحها بالبودي باراجراف.
احنا ما قلنا تطرحين اسئله عن الموضوع، ما قلنا تطرحين اسئله عن الموضوع بالثيسس سنتنس، وانما الثيسس سنتنس شنو تحتوي؟
يعني هي دكتور نفس الأسئلة، يعني هي يعني مختصر المواضيع اللي أنا راح أتكلم عنها.
اوكي بس نعم جيد. احنا شنو قلنا؟ شنو سمينا هذه اللي سميتيها اسئله؟ شنو سميناها؟ يعني الثيسس سنتنس هي اولا، لا انا اريد اتكلم ويا منو اللي كان يحكي وياي؟
نبأ سجاد دكتور.
ممكن ترفعين ايدك حتى اقرا اسمك؟ ما جاي اسمعك بشكل. نبأ سجاد. نبأ سجاد، اوكي. نبأ سجاد. احنا شنو قلنا الثيسس ستيتمنت؟ شنو تحتوي على شنو؟
دكتور تحتوي على مجموعة جمل إنه مختص الكلام اللي راح نشرحه، ويهمنا بنفس الوقت إنه نجذب بيها القارئ بالانترودكشن.
جيد، زين هي كم جملة الثيسس ستيتمنت؟
يعني دكتور هو مو شرط، بس هي المفروض تكون مختصرة وقليلة يعني.
اوكي زين. نبأ سجاد لازم تتابعين الفيديوز اللي نشرتها يعني على الويب سايت، رجاء يعني تابعي هذه الفيديوز حتى يصير عندي الصورة واضحة عن الثيسس ستيتمنت اللي يعني شرحناها بشكل مفصل جدا وشكل ممل جدا. الثيسس ستيتمنت قلنا هي sentence. thesis sentence or thesis statement هي sentence usually mentioned at the end, usually, not always, but we agreed that it's better to write it at the end of the introductory paragraph. This thesis sentence represents the writer's main idea about the whole paragraph. So it is a sentence, and this sentence should represent the main idea of the main idea of the paragraph of the essay. Sorry, for the essay. This thesis sentence sometimes, and it's always better to include in this thesis sentence sub-ideas. What are those sub-ideas? Sub-ideas are taken from the controlling idea of the thesis sentence. زين، وذكرنا أمثلة كثيرة، وهاي السب ideas. إذا عندنا two sub ideas in the thesis sentence, if we have two sub ideas in the thesis sentence, we should have two body paragraphs. If we have three sub ideas in the thesis sentence, we should have three body paragraphs. جاي يسمعون صوتي بشكل واضح؟
يس دكتور.
اوكي
كلير دكتور.
ممتاز. زين، هسه انا سجاد صار واضح هذه المساله؟
نعم دكتور، شكرا.
وارجو من عندك تتابعين الفيديوز، لانه كثير من الفيديوز اللي سوينا لهن ابلود تتكلم عن الثيسس سنتنس، وعندنا اكزامبلز وشرحنا الكثير عنها، فارجو مراجعته. اوكي زين، يا اهلا وسهلا. نبأ سجاد. جيد. زين، الآن we have a concluding paragraph. اوكي، خلينا نسوي sharing. ما اعرف جاي يصير اشكال هنا بال
يس دكتور، هسه صار شيرنج.
لا هو الشيرنج ممتاز، يعني جاي يصير، بس اكو بهذه الويندو الثانيه اللي مال جوجل ميت جاي يصير بعض شلون الفايبريشن او فشي. المهم الان هسه مستقره. زين، هسه جاي يعني تشوفون الشير دوكيمنت الكونكلودينج باراجراف. ممتاز. خلي نذهب للكونكلودينج باراجراف، ومثل ما قلت لكم ان شاء الله ارفع المحاضره اللي تحدثت بها عن البودي باراجراف، ارفعها خلال هاليومين حتى تصير عندكم فكره عن البودي باراجراف، والطلاب الاخرين يعني يشوفون محاضرتكم اللي هي محاضره اليوم عن الكونكلودينج باراجراف. طبعا مثل ما قلنا البودي باراجراف provides what? Provides evidence. البودي باراجراف not the concluding. يعني انت عندما تطرح الفكره الرئيسيه بالانترودكتوري باراجراف راح تشرح هذه الفكره الرئيسيه، وتعزز الفكره بالكثير من الايفيدنس. يعني مثلا تنطي explanations, examples, details, clarifications, maybe facts, statistics. شنو اللي تعرفه عن الموضوع تنطيه بشكل يعني بشكل مرتب، ولا تخرج عن الموضوع، تبقى في الموضوع. يعني never go beyond your main idea. Don't write off يعني off topic sentences. يعني شنو off topic sentences؟ يعني those sentences that are not related to your main idea. Those sentences that talk about something else, another topic that is not mentioned in your topic sentence or the thesis statement. يعني لا تخرج عن الموضوع بكل بساطة. زين، انت تتكلم عن مثلا controlling stress in student life, and how do students feel that stress, and what are the reasons that cause this stress to students while studying at the university, for example. How to control this stress, what are the characteristics of or what are the reasons behind this stress, and then you talk about something very different, not related to this particular topic. Okay, you are talking about, for example, the cost of living Okay, the cost of living, or the cost of living, or the for example, the cost of living. You might include that as one reason for the stress, but you might also talk about, for example, something related to businesses, okay, that is completely outside the area of your topic. تتكلم عن ستريس واسباب ستريس باليونيفرسيتي، مثلا اسباب ستريس باليونيفرسيتي انت حصرتها في المين ايديا مثلا ببعض المواضيع، مثلا زين بعض السب ايدياز بالجامعه، وبعد ذلك انت تخرج عن الموضوع وتتكلم عن مواضيع اخرى، مثلا الكوست اوف ليفينج. كوست اوف ليفينج مثلا يعني قد تكون لها علاقه لكن قد تكون بعيده جدا، او انت جاي تحكي في ضمن اطار محدد وتخرج عن ذلك الاطار. تتكلم عن بزنسز، تتكلم عن علاقتك ببعض الاصدقاء خارج الجامعه مثلا، تتكلم عن فد حاله اجتماعيه معينه، وانت جاي تتكلم عن فد موضوع جدا محدد يتكلم عن how to control stress at the university مثلا. اوكي زين. الان the concluding paragraph. هسه مثل ما قلنا البودي باراجراف هو ينطي evidence يعني always think of writing evidence. يعني من تكتب البودي باراجراف think of writing evidence. So now if you know the function of each and every paragraph of the essay, you are going to know how to structure your essay, how to write specific and relevant information in each of these parts of the essay. يعني إذا تعرف أنت الفانكشن of the introductory paragraph ما راح تنطي details بالintroductory paragraph. أكو طلاب ينطون details، أبدا لا تنطي details بالintroductory paragraph. introductory paragraph تنطي background, narrow it down at sentence to sentences, then your main idea. انتهى الانترودكتوري باراجراف، الفانكشن مالته انتهت، تنتقل الى فانكشن اخرى، جزء اخر اللي هو البودي باراجراف. بالبودي باراجراف always think of writing supporting ideas. What are those ideas that are related to the main idea? What are those types of evidence you have to provide to support your main idea in the introductory paragraph? As I told you, always explanations, clarifications, details that should be examples, anecdotes, facts that should be related and support your main idea. الآن نجي إلى وظيفة concluding paragraph. What is the function of a concluding paragraph? Here we have three functions, three characteristics of a concluding paragraph. But before reading those characteristics or explaining them and reading the examples, you have to know that your concluding paragraph should be short. Don't write details in your concluding paragraph. Never write details in your concluding paragraph or in the introductory paragraph. In the concluding paragraph, you have to be very brief and to the point. You have to conclude your essay. You have to give indication to your readers that you are closing off your essay. So how to close off your essay? How to give this impression to your readers? How to give this sign, يعني هاي الإشارة بأنه أنت انتهيت من كتابة الأساي وهذه your conclusion. طبعا always start your concluding paragraph with a phrase that expresses the meaning of conclusion. For example, you write what? In conclusion, to sum up, all in all, finally, لكن أفضل يعني كلمة مختصرة وتدل بشكل مباشر، أفضل كلمة إيه يعني لك الآن كطالب يعني حتى تنطي indication للأستاذ وأنت فاهم الموضوع، تقول in conclusion كوما وتنطي الكونكلوجن مالتك. زين، what types of conclusions يعني how to write our conclusions. First of all, you should not add any new information in your conclusion. طبعا this is not mentioned here. You must not add any new information. لا تكتب أي معلومة جديدة في concluding paragraph. concluding paragraph جدا بسيط، يعتمد على ما كتبته وين في البودي paragraph وما كتبته في الانترودكتوري paragraph، يعتمد على المين ايديا والسبورتنج ايدياز. إذا هو عبارة عن خلاصة، ما راح يعني ياخذ منك جهد مثل ما ياخذ من عندك الانترودكتوري باراجراف جهد والبودي باراجراف جهد، لانه الانترودكتوري باراجراف هو في شيء جديد، يعني you have to create it. بالبودي باراجراف you have to create supporting ideas. بالconcluding paragraph وان شاء الله نقرا الاكزامبلز you don't have to create anything. Just there is one a little space for you to create. For example, you give a suggestion. You might want to give a suggestion. This needs some creation. You might want to give a prediction. يعني you anticipate، يعني تتوقع شنو راح يصير. مثلا بناء على ما تقدم، بناء على الانترودكتوري باراجراف والسبورتنج ايدياز، بناء على مناقشتك للموضوع، ممكن at the end of the concluding paragraph فد one sentence تنطي فد prediction، تنطي فد anticipation شنو اللي راح يصير، انت شنو اللي تتوقعه. مثلا قد تدعو القراء الى يعني الى مشاركتك في الرأي او الى taking فد action معين، يعني تدعوهم الى اتخاذ فد action معين، تنطيهم هيك indication. Okay, let's read the examples in front of you and the picture will be clearer inshallah. So the concluding paragraph, as in this short document, here we have three purposes for the concluding paragraph. It signals the end of the essay, as I told you. Okay? To do so, begin your conclusion with a transition signal. Transition signal, the transitional words, يعني اللي قلت لك بها عبارة عن maybe words, maybe phrases, okay? In conclusion, to summarize, in brief, all in all, to conclude, okay? So this is what this phrase or this word, finally, for example, or a phrase gives indication, a direct indication that you are concluding your essay. وهذا تفكير واضح للكاتب حتى يحدد هذا الشيء، وكذلك للقارئ، يعني الكاتب يكون جدا واضح إذا كتب in conclusion, in summary, to sum up, to summarize, to conclude, all in all, finally, now. So these phrases, these words give indication to your reader that you are concluding your essay. So you have to signal the end of the essay by such transitional words. Also, the concluding paragraph should remind your reader of your main points. And this is very much important. This means that you sometimes need to summarize, to sum up just the main points of your essay. What are the main points? 3 points? Remind your readers of these 3 points. Okay, so it reminds your reader of your main points. Those points are mentioned where? Are mentioned in the body paragraph, okay? Which you can do by summarizing your subtopics and or paraphrasing your thesis. Sometimes we need to remind our readers of the main points we discussed, we explained, okay, we detailed in our body paragraph. Or sometimes we need to remind our readers by paraphrasing the subtopics or the sub-ideas mentioned in the introductory paragraph and the body paragraph. So this is the second type. This is the second, or the second, yes, not type, the second function, okay, of a concluding paragraph. Also, the concluding paragraph is very much important to leave your reader with your final thoughts. Leave your reader with your final thoughts on the topics. مثلا انت تتكلم عن، يعني جاي تعالج موضوع معين، تحدثت عن هذا الموضوع، ناقشته، طيت evidence، طيت examples، استعرضت بعض المشاكل، انطيت حلول لهذه المشاكل. شوف انت بالبودي باراجراف المجال مفتوح لك، الطريقه اللي تستخدمها شنو؟ تشرح الموضوع، تنطي تفاصيل، تنطي examples، مشكله معينه وتنطي الحلول مالتها الى اخره. بالكونكلودينج باراجراف ممكن شو تسوي؟ ممكن تنطي اكفى تكنيكس هسه اللي راح نتناولها حتى with examples. مثلا تنطيهم suggestion معين، recommendation، prediction، okay, solutions, you suggest solutions for the problem you tackled, okay. So you should leave your reader with your final thoughts on the topic. This is your opportunity to convey a strong, effective message that your reader will remember. زين، حتى تخلي القارئ يفهم ماذا تريد بالضبط، يعني ماذا كنت تريد عندما كتبت الاسي. يعني تخليه يقرا الكونكلودينج باراجراف بوضوح جدا، يعني يصير عنده فد impression، يعني very clear impression, a very clear idea about your topic and your message. خلي عنده فد فكرة واضحة عن the whole essay. وهذا طبعا leaves a good impression about you. يعني انت من تكتب مثلا، فكر الان انت مثلا عندك امتحان بالبوتري، واجاك فد extract عن فد two lines of poetry، والاستاذ قال لك مثلا elaborate on these two lines or elaborate on these or on this, for example, extract or this quotation or this idea, this theme, discuss, explain, elaborate, argue. راح تبدي بالintroductory paragraph، رتب امورك على هذه الطريقه. Introductory paragraph. The introductory paragraph should be short and very clear. Then body paragraph, explain details, examples, etc. لكن خلي الكونكلودينج باراجراف مالتك جدا واضح، short، لانه عندما يقراها الاستاذ الكونكلودينج باراجراف فيه فد 4 اسطر، 3 اسطر، 4 اسطر، لا تروح زايد. راح يعرف الاستاذ من خلال قراءة الكونكلودينج باراجراف انت بالضبط شنو ردت من خلال هذه الاسي. يعني الكونكلودينج باراجراف will leave the last impression about your writing. هي اللي راح تترك الانطباع عند القارئ مالتك او عند الاستاذ. عفوا. فراح تترك هذا الامبريشن، اما يكون good impression or bad impression about your writing. فانت ليش تخلي bad impression؟ يعني be very specific when you are writing, very clear and specific about your writing the concluding paragraph. For example, in conclusion, then you paraphrase the main idea, maybe the sub-idea, the subtopics, the sub-ideas of the main points, okay? And then you give what? You give a suggestion or a concluding sentence. And we are going to see some of those examples. Look here, here we have what? Here we have the same topic. Okay, we are talking about the same topic in these samples. Sample number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, and I think we have number 4. Yes, this is the last sample. Okay, all these concluding paragraphs, short concluding paragraphs, are talking about the same topic, but they give the conclusion differently. يعني كل هذه الباراجرافات تتكلم عن نفس الموضوع. اوكي، اللي هو هسه راح نقراه ونشوفه. لكن كل باراجراف يكتب او كل باراجراف يقدم الكونكلوجن بطريقه معينه. مثلا here we have what? Here we have 4 techniques for writing a concluding paragraph. The first technique, make a prediction. شنو البريدكشن؟ البريدكشن هو الانتسيبيشن. يعني شنو الانتسيبيشن؟ يعني ماذا يعني something you expect to be happened, something you expect to happen in the future, something you predict, something you anticipate. طبعا these are synonyms. يعني فشيء انت تتوقع راح يصير. يعني من خلال انت معالجتك تقول مثلا انت جاي تتكلم عن مثلا تتكلم عن اللا نظام او انعدام القانون، مثلا بخصوص او انعدام القانون بشكل عام في المنطقة او في الدولة، وتعالج هذا الموضوع. شنو المشاكل؟ ما هي اسباب انعدام القانون؟ مثلا المشاكل اللي تتولد من انعدام القانون. وبالكونكلودينج باراجراف انت ايش راح تسوي؟ راح تذكر القارئ in conclusion وتذكره بالمين بوينتس you tackled، طبعا بدون ديتيلز، فقط اشاره الهن. تقول انا تحدثت عن كان الاسي تحدث او عالج 3 نقاط اللي هي 1 2 3، مو تعددهن وانما تكتبهن كسنتنسز، او احتمال 1 sentence تذكر بها ال3 نقاط، لا اكثر ولا اقل. يعني very short، be brief. ومن خلال هذا الموضوع او هذه النقاط انت راح تتوقع شنو راح يصير بالدوله، انت شنو راح يصير بهذه المنطقه بسبب انعدام القانون. انت راح تتوقع شنو راح يصير، هذه يسمونها prediction. او مثلا انعدام الخدمات مثلا في المنطقه الكذائيه، تعالج انت اولا تصف المساله، تنطي الفكره الرئيسيه بالانتروداكتوري باراجراف، تصف المساله، you give explanations, you give examples, you give the types of problems this for example this يعني situation or this this problem causes مثلا، وتنطي examples. وبعد ذلك عندما تجي الى الكونكلودينج باراجراف تنطي فد anticipation what will happen then if these problems are left without any resolution, any solutions. اوكي، شنو اللي راح يصير؟ وهكذا. هذا فيما يتعلق بالبريدكشن. نقرا الاكزامبل الان. اريد طلاب يقرون الاكزامبل بليز. طلاب ارفع ايدك حتى تقرا الاكزامبل. فاطمه جعفر.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, please. Read, make a, yes, okay.
We have
Okay.
seen how the costs of editing college have been rising while at the same time sources of financial and for students have been disappearing. If this trend continues, Fia and Fia families will be able to send their children through 4 years of college.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to read it quickly. Please listen to my reading. We have seen how. We have seen. طبعا we have seen أشار علما. منو يجاوبني؟ أريد واحد يرفع إيده. يعني هذا أشار إلى المشكلة بشكل عام اللي ناقشها بالبودي باراجراف أو يعني ذكرها بالانترودكتوري باراجراف والبودي باراجراف. يعني أشار إلى ما ذكره سابقا بالأسي. هذا concluding paragraph خليه في بالك يعني. هذا concluding paragraph. We have seen where we have seen in the body paragraph. Excellent. Okay. We have seen how the costs of attending college have been rising, increasing, while at the same time, sources of financial aid for students have been disappearing. يعني الطلاب في البلدان الأخرى، احنا الحمد لله والشكر عندنا التعليم مجاني، وهذه نعمة طبعا، يعني لأنه بالإضافة إلى الأمور الأخرى الغير جيدة، لكن تبقى هذه نعمة. أوكي؟ في البلدان الأخرى طالب ما يدخل كلية إلا يعني يقدموا له فد، الدولة تقدم له فد يعني يعني financial support من خلال اللونز، يعني ياخذ قرض من البنك بطريقة معينة، وهذا القرض يكمله ويوديه للجامعة اللي يعني تتحمل تكاليف الدراسة مالته لمدة 4 سنوات 5 سنوات 6 سنوات، شوف ايش قد الدراسة، 2 إلى آخره. هذا طبعا at the college level, the tertiary level. بالبرايمري سكول والهاي سكول لا، يعني التعليم يكون مجاني. فياخذ قرض ويدخل للجامعة، وبعد ما يتخرج ويشتغل يقوم يسدد القرض مالته. هاي كل طالب يعني. فهنا عندنا مشكلة. costs of attending college are up. تكاليف الجامعة يعني rise, spike. Okay? And financial aid for students is down. I'm reading the paragraph number 2, concluding paragraph number 2. But this is very, this condensed the meaning very well. Okay. فعندنا cost of studying are up and rise, and the financial help by the government, by the state, يعني might disappear، يعني getting down. هنا اكو مشكله عندنا. زين شلون راح الطلاب يقدرون يدرسون يكملون دراستهم؟ فهو يعالج هذه المشكله. فانت فقط المين ايديا، ما راح للديتيلز. الديتيلز وين ذكرها؟ بالبودي باراجراف. كل ديتيلز تحتفظ بالديتيلز بالبودي باراجراف. دير بالك تذكر ديتيلز بالانترودكتوري باراجراف او بالكونكلودينج باراجراف، لا تذكر ديتيلز. اوكي؟ فقط بالبودي باراجراف اذكر ديتيلز. خلي حتى الشكل الاسي واضح بالنسبه للاستاذ. زين؟ في اي امتحان تمتحن. زين. So at the same time sources of financial aid يعني assistance for students have been disappearing. تكاليف جاي تصعد ومساعده من الدوله ماكو. زين، هاي مشكله. فهنا شو يسوي؟ يسوي prediction. شوف الجمله الاخيره هنا، هو هسه ذكر المين ايديا، سوى فد سمري، هو هنا summarizing the main idea. Rephrasing the main, paraphrasing the main, restating the main idea mentioned in the introductory paragraph, for example. This is the main idea. But what is additional in the concluding paragraph is the prediction. In this sentence, he or she, the writer, predicts what will happen if this goes on. يعني إذا هذه الحالة استمرت. يعني the costs of studying are up and the assistance of the government are down. ايش راح يصير؟ فشنو كتب؟ قال if this trend continues if this orientation, if this state, if this situation continues, إذا هذه الحالة استمرت, fewer and fewer, شوف هو he's or she's anticipating, يتوقع شنو راح يصير بالمستقبل. Fewer and fewer families will be able to send their children through 4 years of college. So now he is tackling a problem. The problem is that the costs of studying are up and the assistance, the governmental assistance, the financial assistance by the government are down. So if this trend, if this problem continues like this, families will not be able to send their children, to send their sons and daughters to complete their studies at college. فما راح يقدرون يعني ايش راح يصير؟ راح يعني العوائل ما راح تستطيع ان ترسل ابنائها للدراسه في الجامعه. اوكي؟ هذه يسمونه prediction، يعني انت تتوقع فد شيء. نجي الى الاكزامبل الاخر، نوع اخر من كتابه الكونكلودينج باراجراف، نوع اخر من كتابه يعني فد تكنيك اخرى. يعني انت تقدر تستخدم اي تكنيك. Among those 4 techniques, you have what? Making prediction, suggest results or consequences, the second technique. The third technique, recommend a solution, or a call for action. يعني أنت تدعو الناس أن تأخذ فد action معين. في نهاية الأساي تطالب القراء، تطالب الناس اللي انت تخاطبهم بالاساي، كاتب الاساي لمن؟ الى مثلا حتى تقراها الناس وتتفاعل وياك. فمره واحد ينطي فقط بريدكشن، شنو راح يصير؟ مره لا، ينطي فد مقترح، ينطي حلول. هذه الحلول لمن؟ للمشكله. مره واحد لا، ايش يسوي؟ يعني يطلب المساعدة من الناس أن يتفاعلون مع القضية حتى شنو؟ حتى يحلون المشكلة. والتكنيك الآخر هو ممكن quote an authority on the topic، تنطي فد مقولة مشهورة أو لكاتب مشهور حتى تعزز من المعنى اللي أنت تريد تنقله. نشوف فؤاد ظاهر مطشر، قرانا التكنيك الثاني. Yes please.
Okay, Doctor. To sum up, the cost of attending college are up and financial aid for students is down. Fewer and fewer future members of the workforce are able to educate themselves beyond high school.
نعم.
As a result, the nation will waste the intelligence, imagination, and energy of a large segment of the present college-age generation.
Okay, thank you very much. همسة إحسان. همسة إحسان.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, please read the same paragraph.
Suggest results or consequence. To sum up, the cost of attending college are up and financial aid for
Financial aid.
students.
Financial aid. Yes.
Financial aid for students is down. Fewer and fewer future members of the workforce are able to educate themselves beyond high school. As a result, the nation will waste the intelligence, imagination, and energy of a large segment of the present college-age generation.
Okay. Fatima Hashim.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, please.
To sum up,
To sum up, the cost and attending college are up and financial aid for students is down. Fewer and fewer future members of the workforce are able to educate themselves beyond high school. As a
Yes.
result, the nation will waste intelligence, imagination, and energy of a large segment of the present college-age generation.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, listen to me while reading this concluding paragraph. Suggest results or consequences. To sum up, look at this to sum up. So here we have what? Here we have a signal phrase. Here we have also in the first example a signal phrase. We have seen. Okay? And here, this is more direct. In the second concluding paragraph is more direct. Sorry. To sum up, in conclusion, for example, the costs of attending college are up and financial aid for students is down. Fewer and fewer future members of the workforce are able to educate themselves beyond high school. So there's a problem. They can't continue their study at the college level. Why? Because there is less financial assistance and help. As a result, so very directly here the writer presents his or her results, what he expect or what he thinks the result will be. Okay, so the writer here gives us the result of such a process, of such a problem. What is the result? Directly by stating this signal phrase. As a result, consequently, okay? As a result, the nation will waste the intelligence, imagination, and energy of a large segment, yes, of the present college-age generation. So this is the result. Because of this problem, if this problem continues, so this is the result. Okay. This is the second technique. What is the result you expect to be, you think to be, as a consequence or as a result for the problem you have tackled, you have discussed in the essay. The third example. Okay. Malayin?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, please.
It's clear that U.S. statement of higher education and terrible for many students completing 4 years of college. Is no longer possible because of the increasing cost and disruption financial aid to reverse this trend. We must demand that government increase financial support of college and university and researcher financial aid program. Our future depends on it.
Okay, thank you very much. Marwa Diya?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please, again.
It is clear that the U.S. System of higher education is untenable for many students. Completing 4 years of college is no longer possible because of increasing cost and decreasing financial aid to reverse this trend. We must demand that governments increases its financial support of colleges and universities and restores financial aid programs. Our future depends on it.
Okay, thank you very much. Layla Isam.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, please.
It is clear that the USA system of higher education is in trouble. For many students, completing 4 years of college is no longer possible because of increasing costs and decreasing financial aid. To reverse this trend, we must demand this government increasing its financial support of colleges and universities and restore financial aid programs. Our future depends on it.
Okay, thank you very much. Ali Falah.
نعم دكتور.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
It is clear that the US system of higher education is in trouble. For many students, completing 4 years of college is no longer possible because of increasing costs and decreasing financial aid. To reverse this trend, we must demand that government increase its financial support of colleges and universities and restore financial aid programs. Our future depends on it.
Okay, thank you very much. So, it's clear that the US system of higher education is in trouble. Why? Look at this. It's clear. It's clear from what? It's clear from what has been mentioned in the body paragraph. So now it's a kind of a signal for a conclusion. It's an indication that you are concluding. It's clear that, okay, from what has been discussed in the body paragraph, it's clear that the US system of higher education is in trouble. This is a good conclusion. You draw from your explanation and clarification in the body paragraph, okay? For many students, completing 4 years of college is no longer possible because of increasing costs and decreasing financial aid. To reverse this trend, if we reverse this trend, or to reverse this trend, we must demand that government increase. To reverse this trend means what? Means that the financial aid should be increased and the cost should be down. هي بالعكس. فهو ايش يقول؟ يقول to reverse this trend we must demand. Look at this word. We must demand. So he is calling for something. He is calling for an action. يعني هو يدعو إلى اتخاذ إجراءات مناسبة to reverse this trend اللي هو عبارة عن مشكلة. فهو هنا يدعو. Look at this. Recommend a solution or a call for action. So he is calling for action. The writer here is calling for an action. يعني يدعو إلى اتخاذ خطوات جادة لحل المشكلة. We must demand. منو يعني يقصد بوي؟ هنا وي هو الرايتر نفسه؟
reader.
Writers, the writer with readers, okay? يعني the audience he is what? He is addressing. يعني الناس اللي جاي يخاطبهم. مثلا هو جاي يخاطب الطلاب. فيدعو الطلاب إلى أن يقفوا هذه الوقفة. يقول يجب أن نطالب. You must demand that government increase its financial support or colleges and universities and restore financial aid programs. Our future depends on it. So this kind of conclusion is what? Is a calling for an action, a type of recommendation, a type of recommendation. So this is what I recommend. We have to do so and so in order to solve this problem. صار واضح الآن؟ هذا نوع من أنواع concluding paragraph. النوع الأخير هو quote an authority on the topic. ولأنه ما عندي وقت ممكن نختار زينب نبيل.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, please.
Quote an authority on the topic. In conclusion, costs are rising and financial aid is declining. Would the result that many can no longer afford to go to college. If our nation is to prosper, increased government funding for education is essential, even if it requires higher taxes.
Thank you
As
very much. Thank you very much. طيب ناطق كملي.
Even if it required higher text as Howard Mans, a grant and his Faith Angle report. A national economic wealth will increase through an education populace that is therefore in health, self and stress of teaching to buy the sectional for public education.
Okay, عذراء سبتي.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes,
In
please.
conclusion, costs are rising and financial aid is declining with the result that many can no longer afford to college. If our nation is the prosper, increased government spending for education is essential, even if requires higher taxes.
Thank you very
As
much. Thank you very much. عباس فاضل.
As Horace
Yes,
Mann
please.
argued in his fifth annual report, a nation's economic wealth will increase through an educated public. It's therefore in the self-interest of business to pay the taxation for public education.
Okay, thank you very much. فاطمة عاشور.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, please.
In communication costs are rising and financial aid is declining with the result that one can no longer afford to go to college. If our nation is to possible increased government funding for education is essential even if it requires higher taxes as a horseman.
Thank you very much. فاطمة جعفر. Yes, please.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes,
In,
please.
con- in conclusion, costs are rising and financial aid is declining, with the result the money can no longer afford to go to college. If fear of our nation is to prosper, increased government funding for education is essential, even if it requires higher taxes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. مصطفى عودة. مصطفى.
As heroic Mana agad in his faith annual report, a nation incoming wealth will increase through an education public. It is therefore in the self-interest of business to pay the taxation of their public education.
Okay, thank you very much. And finally, the last technique mentioned here on this page 87 to write a concluding paragraph is to quote an authority on the topic. Quote an authority on the topic means that you bring in a quotation from an authority, a well-known, for example, author, well-known person to the population. Okay? In conclusion, look at this. In conclusion, here we started our concluding paragraph by this phrase, this transitional phrase or transitional phrase. Okay? So either transitional or transitional phrase. In conclusion, costs are rising and financial aid is declining. The same point. And because these concluding paragraphs are samples for the same topic. Okay? So costs are rising and financial aid is declining, with the result that many can no longer afford to go to college. If our nation is to prosper, to progress means increased government funding for education is essential. If we want it to prosper, so we have what? the government should increase the funding, okay, funding for education, يعني support education by assisting people to complete the education, even if it requires high taxes. So even if it requires high taxes to be taken from the population in general, يعني in order to be able to fund those students, the taxes will be what? Will be increased on the population. فهنا الكاتب يقول even if it requires higher taxes on the population in general. لأنهم منين ياخذون الفاندز؟ منين ياخذون هذا الفاينانس على يعني راح يصير فدلود على البادجت مال الجفرمنت، فلازم يصعدون شنو؟ يصعدون الضريبة على البوبيليشن. يعني هذا كمقترح علما لهذا الكاتب، يعني in particular نوع من الانواع الكونكلودينج باراجراف. فايش راح يسوي هو؟ راح ياخذ quotation حتى to support his main idea, to conclude with a quotation said by a well-known person, famous person, okay, Horace Mann, okay, as Horace Mann argued in his 5th annual report. طبعا هنا منطيك بالفوت نوت منطيك هورس مان يقول public figure, okay, considered، يعني هذا الببليك figure فشخصية معروفة في 1796 and 1859 considered، يعني يعتبر هذه الشخصية تعتبر the father of public education، okay, in the United States. فهذا الفاذر اوف بابليك education in the United States. فهذا الكاتب سوى اخذ كلام هذه الشخصيه المعروفه، او not directly طبعا argued، مو اخذ كلامه as a quotation وانما سوى له paraphrasing مثلا، لانه هنا ما عندنا شنو quotation marks. فايش قال؟ as Horace Mann argued in his 5th annual report, a nation's economic wealth will increase through an educated public. يعني الثروة الاقتصادية للأمة تأتي منين؟ تأتي من الطبقة المتعلمة. أعتقد غلطان هذا الرجل. أوكي، يعني هو رأي محترم لكنه ما يطبق في بعض البلدان. It's therefore in the self-interest of business to pay the taxation for public education. طبعا هذا المفروض أنه الطبقة المتعلمة هي التي يعني تنهض بالأمة، والطبقة المتعلمة هي التي يعني تزود الأمة بالشخصيات اللي تقود المجتمع ويعني تقوده نحو الازدهار. للعكس. اوكي، يعني these are 4 types of what these are 4 techniques for writing a concluding paragraph. صار واضح الان؟ اكو واحد عنده سؤال طلاب؟ طبعا المثال بعد راح يعني ان شاء الله على المحاضره المقبله نقرا الاساي on page 88، ما عندنا وقت. زين، خلصت المحاضره، ويعني ارجو من عندكم تقرون المثال بشكل جيد تفهمونه حتى نناقش يعني the function of all the every part of the essay. Okay, for example, here we have a complete essay, and then we have 2 types of concluding paragraph, and we have questions about those concluding paragraph. So please read the example on page 88 and try to answer the exercise on page 89 about the concluding paragraph. يعني انطانا هنا نفد essay، وهذه الاساي جدا ممتازة مرتبة بشكل دقيق، من خلالها نعرف يعني how to organize our writing. If we want to write a good essay, we have to take such an example. Okay, inshallah we will be discussing this essay part by part the introductory paragraph, the body paragraphs, as well as the concluding paragraph. Okay. اكو واحد عنده سؤال؟ فؤاد ظاهر.
عفوا دكتور،
نعم.
قبل شوية ذكرت ان the conclusion paragraph نقدر نكتبها 3 جمل او 4. زين الدكتور، نقدر نكتب مثلا جملة واحدة او جملتين؟
لا، جملة واحدة وجملتين لا، ما يصير.
يعني we can't.
اي نعم.
Thank you.
اوكي، يعني فد 3 جمل 4. اكو واحد عنده سؤال بعد؟ اكو واحد عنده سؤال طلاب؟
No, دكتور.
Okay, so thank you very much. You can leave now the meeting quickly, please. Okay. طلاب أرجو المغادرة سريعا. يا عبد الحسين. ريموف. عبد الرضا عبد الحسين، الاسم الأول ما أعرف شنو. وضحى سعيد. عبد الحسن عبد الله. عمار أحمد. فاطمة أحمد. وفاطمة عادل. وأخيرا فاطمة عطية. أوكي.